What's good, YouTube? It's the Anime Demon, and I'm back with another video. And today we have a character analysis on Tomura Shigaraki. Shigaraki is the main villain of My Hero Academia. He is a 5'9" male, light blue hair, red eyes, and a deathly pale skin, and lips that make me want to buy him some chapstick. Shigaraki is the leader of the League of Villains after All for One is defeated by All Might. Today, I will be delving into the character of Tomura Shigaraki and what makes him a great antagonist. When Shigaraki first appears, he is unleashing a Nomu onto Class 1A with the hopes of drawing out All Might and killing him. Obviously, this plan fails miserably, and at this point in the story, Shigaraki looks like a very generic character and villain. The bad guys that want to kill the good guys for no reason. But, boy, does the development of Shigaraki take a turn for the better. After this arc in My Hero Academia introduces a new villain, the hero killer Stain. Stain is a villain who, though wrongfully kills many individuals, he has strong ideology that you would have to convince me that he is wrong. Stain's main goal is to cleanse society of false heroes. He believes that too many heroes become heroes for fame and fortune, and are unworthy of being called true heroes. Stain believes that All Might is the only true hero. And with that, Stain is one who wishes not to kill anybody but his targets. As one who dislikes needless bloodshed, Stain and Shigaraki couldn't agree with each other's ideals and went blow for blow at each other. Now, Stain is important to the character development of Shigaraki because after Stain's arrest, many new villains joined the League of Villains because of Stain and his ideals. But again, as I said, Shigaraki is just so much different from Stain, and this leads to Shigaraki actually going to the mall and meeting Deku, our protagonist, and telling him that he is unhappy with all the attention Stain has garnered and wants all that attention for himself. Then he asks Deku what is the difference between himself and Stain. This leads to Deku saying that there is no understanding between himself and Shigaraki, whereas Deku, who didn't agree with what Stain was doing, but he understood Stain's motives because they are both driven by All Might. Then Shigaraki finally understands why he hates both Stain and Deku, and the connection is All Might. This encounter ends with Shigaraki deciding that crushing All Might with Stain's ideology is what needs to be done. Next time you see Shigaraki, he is in the Hideout arc with the League of Villains, where the League of Villains have captured Bakugo, and Shigaraki asks Bakugo to become his ally on some, Orochimaru Sasuke stuff, but Bakugo tells him to drop the small talk and tells him to die. It then goes into Shigaraki explaining that the hero society is unjust and that the League of Villains are fighting for a just society. With that, they unrestrain Bakugo so that he can be seen as an equal, and Bakugo immediately attacks Shigaraki and goes and explains that his goal is to surpass All Might. This is the first real turning point in Shigaraki's character, with his misjudgment of Bakugo's nature and reasoning for becoming a hero. From here, the greatness of Shigaraki only widens as All Might and the other heroes break through the hideout, and All Might declares that it is over for the League, with Shigaraki rebuttaling, saying it is only the beginning for the League. This leads to a flashback where Shigaraki is in an incident and no one else came to save him but his teacher. And from there, his teacher is revealed to be All for One. In the most surprising fashion, Shigaraki's grandmother is also revealed to be All Might's teacher and the former owner of the One for All quirk. This has to play a big factor into why Shigaraki hates All Might, though to this point in the story, the background of his grandmother has not been revealed. The rest of this arc is mainly All for One and All Might focused, so I will continue by going into the next. So now I'm going to fast forward to the current My Villain Academia arc. Horikoshi finally delves into Shigaraki's backstory. Now Shigaraki is basically a Deku that went wrong. Shigaraki was a little boy who desperately wanted to become a hero, but to that point had yet to manifest his quirk. Shigaraki's father hated heroes and even hit his son because he talked about heroes. Now, the turning point was when Shigaraki's sister and Shigaraki went into his father's study to look at pictures, and there was a picture of their grandmother in there. And once his father found out that they went in there, he questioned his sister, and his sister lied and said it was Shigaraki. So Shigaraki got hit again, and this led to the hatred brewing inside of him, and eventually led to the manifestation of his quirk. His quirk is decay, which obviously makes things decay. So not knowing how to use his quirk initially as he got it, he accidentally kills his entire family, and including the sister that was going. She was currently apologizing to him when she was killed by his quirk. This direct event can be attributed to Shigaraki falling into darkness, though the final straw was that when Shigaraki fell into darkness, the only one that was there to pick him up was All for One, helping and bringing Shigaraki and giving the young boy a new name of Tomura Shigaraki, and giving him a purpose. Currently, Shigaraki has entered his final state in terms of power, as he has currently gained some of All for One's power and quirk, and right now he is on another level in terms of power. I think this is so that he can have his final battle with Deku soon, in terms of actual timing wise, in terms of chapter wise. I don't know how far in the future that's going to be. But I think that's so he can have his final battle with Deku. So I think this because Deku's quirk, One for All, has saved all the past quirks of the One for All users. So that means he has up to 9 additional quirks, including One for All. And we all know that All for One has multiple quirks. So I think that's in a way like to balance it out, to make the final battle with Deku and Shigaraki seem better. They had to give Shigaraki a bit more power. Though I think that the series is moving to have All for One himself be the final villain for Deku to beat, as in these last couple chapters we have seen a lot of All for One talk about how this is all his master plan, this, that, and the third. So I see all that. But with all these events that I've mentioned, those are what make Shigaraki the great character that he is and the great villain that he is. I, for one, think that most villains that initially want to be heroes but are shut out and not really given a chance to become heroes, for whatever reason. Shigaraki, as being his father, didn't like heroes. He didn't even want to speak of heroes. So this led to the hatred brewing inside of him, and he eventually just became a villain. So I think that most villains like those they're always usually pretty good villains, pretty decent. Though Shigaraki started out as a pretty generic villain, pretty bad villain, and he has become a really good one. I think that the development of himself from Stain arc on is top tier. I think a big turning point for me was when he went to ask Midoriya what is going on, like why is he not, what's the difference? And I think that stems from the fact that all those villains joined because of because of Stain. So I think this is Shigaraki's turned himself into a good villain and a very good character, and I'm excited to see where he goes from here in My Hero Academia. But with that being said, That's all I have for you guys today. Anime Demon, I have to. I'm gonna get on out of here. Peace.